Is everybody in? Is everybody in? The show is about to begin.
Welcome to the podcast, concerts that made us, interviews and stories, tales from the bus. We love taking you back to when it all went down. The greatest live shows and that cheering crowd sound. It's concerts that made us, concertsthatmadeus.com.
Hi, this is Rob.
And this is Becky from Dystopica, and you are listening to Concerts That Made Us.
Becky and Rob, you're very welcome back to Concerts That Made Us.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having us again.
Thank you for having us.
It's great to have you guys back again now. I'm looking forward to diving into your music over the last 2 years since we last spoke. So, first of all, it's been 2 years since we spoke. How has life been with you guys?
It's been good. Musically, we released, we had our 2 EPs. I think last time we may have been talking about Deception. I'm not sure, but now we have a full-length album, our very first full-length album. So, yeah.
Right. Yeah, it was released on the 17th of May. Infinite Reflection. Take us deeper into it if you can.
So it's our very first full-length album. We definitely added some new elements on here. We experimented with some stuff that we haven't done musically before. It has our core sound, but we expanded upon that and really we went in a more progressive direction. We have some heavier stuff on here. Really just tried some new stuff. Yeah, so far the reception's been really good. So it seems like we're going in the right direction. I'm very happy. And yeah, the album itself, it honestly, it took a while to put together because we all have stuff going on in our own lives, and just recording the whole process. It took a while for this one. We actually started recording it prior to the release of Deception, our second EP. So it's been a good 2 years in the process of making this album. And I'm just happy that it's out there now. Everything's out there. And yeah.
Right, right. You know, debut albums, they're a big statement for a band. What did you guys want to say with this album?
We just really wanted to really get our an album that it's it has our sound, it's got everything on it, and it's a good complete, like it's a full album. Like listen through, like all the songs are different, each of them together they tell a story about evolving, which actually is similar to our sound evolving, and really we wanted to just have our best, you know, complete full album product we can put out there. And yeah, I'm very happy with the result.
Right, right. How did you approach the writing of it?
Well, I'm the songwriter, so I basically, when I write songs, I come up with like an idea randomly. It'll be either like a guitar riff or a vocal melody, and I don't like just playing out like I'm gonna write now. Like this is like usually I'll just randomly think of it whenever. So then I actually, because I'm not a guitarist, I'll play the notes on piano and then record it. And then I'll go back and write it in the score later. So it's all written out in the score, which I then send to the rest of the guys so we can record.
And then usually it's up to once it comes to us, that we
Yes.
make any necessary changes or anything we need to work on in studio, we usually update it there. And then the final product is what ends up getting recorded.
Yes.
I like it. I like it. Now, was there any challenges or maybe memorable moments during recording and production that stick out to you?
Yeah, there was definitely some songs in here. Like I said, we tried some new stuff, and there's definitely there's challenges on this album for everybody. I'd say so. Everyone had their own challenges. I mean, my most challenging song was definitely "I'm a Gemini" vocally, because I wanted to just have a song where I sing classical and then growl and scream. And I made sure there's some good challenges in there for myself. And then I'm sure Rob has his own comments on that.
Oh yes, I was gonna say that on this record there were some songs that were quite challenging to record. In fact, one of them had a riff that was unplayable. It was actually I couldn't play it at all, and that was mostly because of the fact that it had to do with the finger positioning, and then the harmony was also difficult to play because of the finger positioning. So we ended up having to rewrite the whole thing, that one section, and then fix it from there. But it still sounds awesome. So
Right, right. I'm my mind is boggled at that. How do you write a song and then when you're recording it realize you can't play it?
Well, because I'm not a guitarist, so sometimes I just like, I think that actually in a way it may help to our unique sound, because I'm not writing on what's playable. I'm writing on like what I come up with in my head, and then a lot of it is playable. The fingering is where I'll like write the tab where the fingering is like it's not as like it doesn't make as much sense. So that's where Rob will fix that. But where we keep the notes, we just change the fingering of it. But that song, there's the one part. It was Insidious Onset, and it goes into 15/4, and it was like this, like these two measures that were like really crazy that I just threw in there. But yeah, it was pretty crazy.
Right, right. When you write an album, the whole album is special to you. But is there any specific tracks in particular that have a special meaning or, stick out to you guys?
Well, I mean, I love the whole album. This is definitely like I'm very proud of everything. I love the way all the songs came together in the order and the way they flow into each other. My personal favorite is Insidious Onset. That's the challenging song. That's my personal favorite. I actually thought of that song years ago, probably like around or before our first EP, Perception. I just saved it. I thought of the intro first, and it was actually the first song I wrote where I wrote it on guitar first, because the intro I can play on guitar, just not the rest of it. So when I thought of that at the time, I thought of the name for it, and I really liked the intro, and I was like, I'm just going to save this and make this my masterpiece. So I think I'm really happy with the way it came out, and I feel like I accomplished what I wanted with that song.
Yeah, I was gonna say Insidious Onset, I was not Insidious Onset, the Episodic Waves. That's my personal favorite, mostly because of the way that it's arranged. It's challenging, but it's definitely playable. It's definitely in a comfortable position on my instrument, so I really do enjoy playing that one.
Right, right. Bit of a tough one now, but what was the original vision for the album, and how close do you think the finished product is?
I think we got it. The original vision was accomplished. I have to say that I feel that, because that everything I wanted for this album, it did come together. So I have no complaints. I'm very happy with the whole thing. I feel like we accomplished what we wanted.
Okay, okay. What kind of feedback have you been getting from fans?
So far, it's been really great. Like I said, we added some new elements here. Was not sure how it was going to go, but our fans love it, and I feel like we're really going in the right direction.
Yeah, it was definitely very positive that the feedback we've gotten so far. I think I heard a fan say that they didn't expect that kind of music from us. So I thought that was really cool to hear.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. Always good when fans say that. Now, how do you think you guys or the band have grown or evolved over the last 2 years since we last spoke?
I think we've evolved a lot. I think we've really evolved. Our sound has gotten more progressive, heavier. We've kept our core sound, but we added in some new things and made it our own, and really evolved since our first EP. It's definitely like a different sound.
Right, right. Now, it's called Concerts That Made Us. Last time you guys were here, you hadn't actually played any gigs. So I know you've played some since we last spoke. We can finally dive into some concert questions if you don't mind. So, first off, for any listeners that haven't caught one of your shows, what can they expect?
They can expect high energy, our music, a good time. We're definitely live. I love playing live, and I love that's like my favorite part, because the songs are out there, but now we can actually play them, and it's fun. And yeah, it's definitely very enjoyable. It's a good time. So yeah, I can't believe the last time we talked, we weren't even playing live.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's been that long.
So I was thinking, so I was going to say pretty much the same thing. Plus, I was going to say a massive improvement as far as tone is concerned. Like, I feel like a lot of us have kind of gone into our settings and gone into different setups of our amps and such. And, we have our tone is a lot more mature sounding now and a lot more closer to what we've kind of originally wanted this whole time. So I think that the audience will definitely expect, a really good live sound from us.
Definitely, definitely. Now, if you think of all the gigs that you guys have played together, is there one that stands out as maybe the one that was perfect? It couldn't have got any better.
Hmm. I think there's definitely a lot of great memories that we have. I think I'd say, if I were to say our most perfect gig in terms of like our performance, maybe either one of the times we played at Dingbats, maybe I would say opening for Gemini Syndrome. But I mean, there's been other gigs that have also been amazing, where we've had an amazing audience, and not everything. Like, I don't look at it like, oh, there's like one mistake somewhere. That to me, it's still a great show. But I would say maybe that one. It's hard to say though, because we've had a lot of enjoyable gigs.
For me, I feel that the one that we played in Poughkeepsie was a particularly good one, mostly because, first off, it was my hometown. So that's kind of a big deal. And the other thing, too, is it was one of the last shows that was performed at that venue. And since then, that venue has closed and has been bought out by some realtors or a realty company. And what the new owners are actually looking for they're looking for someone else to buy it and essentially bring it back to bring it back to being a concert venue. That's the Chance in Poughkeepsie, New York. And that venue's been there since, I mean, it was started as an opera house in the late 1800s. And then it started to become, the Chance Theater, I think in like the 70s. So
Yeah, that was a really fun
pretty
show.
significant performance, I think.
Yeah,
For both
definitely.
us and the venue.
Yeah, yeah. Hopefully someone does buy it and bring it back to its glory days.
That's what we're all hoping. We want to see the place come back, because if you could, it was basically the place that you could go if you couldn't catch a show in New York City or any of the bigger places in the area. It was like kind of the alternative date or the alternative place to go, even if the New York City show had sold out, that place would be the place to go.
If we take that question and flip it around, is there a gig that was maybe the worst experience you guys have had, and how did you overcome it?
Thankfully we haven't had like a really bad experience as a band. Our shows have been going really good. Thankfully we've had a very good receptive audience. We haven't had any like problems with this band. So it's kind of a hard question to answer. We've also haven't played, like, we've been playing a lot, but not like that much. We haven't been able to do a tour or anything right now. So, Rob, I don't know if you have any ideas.
Yeah, I haven't really had any gigs that I thought were particularly bad, but I would say, there have been a few gigs where things like our volume wasn't high enough, or the sound wasn't as good, but the gig still went off just fine. So I would say I don't think any of them would fall into like the absolute worst or the worst of the worst category, because
Yeah.
lucky for us, we still managed to make it work regardless.
Yes.
Right, right. Well, I hope that continues into the future. If we're talking again in another
Me
2 years,
too.
I hope you're able to say we've had nothing but great gigs.
Yeah.
Let's knock on wood.
Yeah, yeah. Now,
Yeah.
how do you engage with your audience during the show? How do you get them hyped up? Is there any memorable interactions you've had with your fans?
Well, always, this is something funny I do. Like, we always end with narcissists. So I'm always like, this song is about a particular type of person. You know, people love that. It's kind of funny. Overall, I just like, how's everyone doing tonight? Stuff. And yeah.
Right. Before we dive into the last couple of questions, then, future plans. Is there anything you can share? Gigs? I suppose there's not going to be new music. You've just dropped an album, but is there anything you can share with us?
Yes. So when it comes to gigs, we have a gig this weekend at Cherry Street in Wallingford, Connecticut, which we're excited for. And then next week on June 29th, we're going to be playing our first ever actual festival, Capulet Fest. And we'll be playing the same day as Skillet, Saint Estonia, and a lot of other big bands that are awesome. And we're the first band. We're opening the day. So we're excited for that. And then we have a couple shows in August that we're looking forward to. And we're working on getting more for the fall and possibly the summer. And when it comes to new music, we are still working on new music. New music is right now in the works. I'm writing it. There's no stopping.
How, bit of an impossible question. How long do we have to wait until this music you're writing is ready?
Well, after this album, and then, I was, it took longer because not only like I was also going for my master's at the same time, and I actually finished the album and graduated at the same time. So it was a very busy time for me. But the next release shouldn't take as long. So in the near future.
Right. Good to hear. Right, the last couple of questions. So I'll start you off easy. When it comes to showtime, what's your pre-show and post-show ritual? How do you psych yourself up? And then afterwards, how do you guys calm down?
So first I do all my vocal warm-ups. I usually I just try to, like, I always get like before show nerves. So I have to warm my voice, just get prepared, and then I try not to like overly talk before I sing, because some of these songs are like a little difficult to do live, but they come out just fine, as long as I warm up and all that. And then after the show, I just talk to fans, and that's kind of like how I finish I just talk to fans and have a good time, and then just sit back and enjoy everything.
Sounds good.
I do the same. I pretty much get some. I sometimes will get some food if it's late. If it's kind of around my usual dinner time, I'll grab some food first, and then I pick up my guitar, play a few notes on it. Make sure all of my gear is where it needs to be. Make sure all the cables are plugged into the right places, and then after the show is pretty much the same thing. Once everything is packed, then I talk to fans. I hang around for a bit for as long as I can. If it's on a school night, then unfortunately I have to pretty much go, because I teach from in the mornings, so I have to. So if I can't be there for long, then I got to split, because I got to start my classes waking up at 6:30 and such. So, and it also doesn't help if it's a long trip from Connecticut to wherever we are. But otherwise, I stay for as long as I can, and when I go, I go. So.
Right. Oh my God. I have to say, I am not envious of playing a gig and having to get up at 6:30 in the morning at all.
Well, I put it this way. I had a friend of mine who was in a fraternity with me, and he said he used to say to me, he's like, shouldn't have become a musician then if you don't want to like have your schedule crammed.
Yeah, true. Now, next one, it's a bit of a tricky one. What are you guys currently obsessed with? It can be anything at all.
I'm obsessed with. I think I'm just honestly, I'm obsessed with this band and this music and doing this 24/7. This is like when I'm not doing anything else, like going to work, like or anything. This is my life. So I'd say
It's a
this
good
is like
obsession.
the biggest obsession I got.
My obsession is video games. I have honestly been trying to catch up on any games that I didn't get to play when I was younger, or any games that that you know that maybe missed that I maybe missed and would want to take a look at again. I've also been obsessed with checking out arcade games because normally I'm not an arcade person, but lately I realized, when you've got things like emulation, instead of actually spending your money, you can just press a button and it puts the coin in for you. And theoretically, you can say things like, I beat Cadillacs and dinosaurs by theoretically spending about $5. Instead of saying that I actually spent $5 to beat it, I could say that I theoretically spent $5 to beat it.
Have to ask, what's your go-to game at the moment?
Oh my gosh. My go-to game for the past few months, I mean, even though I've already beaten it, I'm trying to do all the side quests too. My go-to game is for the past few months has been Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Right, right. Not a bad
And
one.
then the game that is like required to be on every single platform I own is Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
I see. I see. Another good one. The next question is back to music. If you guys had to spend 24 hours locked in a room with any musician from history, who would it be?
I remember this question last time. Oh my gosh. I think last time I said Pat Benatar. You know what? I guess I'll have to go with that again. Pat Benatar. She's my idol.
I like it. I like it.
I'm gonna say Peter Steele from Typo Negative. I mean, uh honestly, I would have loved to have like I think if I had been a bigger fan of his prior to his death, I probably would have loved to just go to Duff's in Brooklyn, because that was like one of his hangouts. I would have loved to have gone there, sat down with him, maybe had a drink or two, and just talked. You know, because in addition to him being like so creative, he just always seems like a genuine guy. He seems like the kind of guy you could talk to and just have a good time with. So
Definitely. Definitely. Yeah. And the final one, what's your go-to album? What's an album you constantly revisit?
Iron Maiden's Peace of Mind. That's my favorite album. I'll listen to that whenever, and like I never get tired of listening to that album. I mean, I never get tired of listening to it, honestly. Like Iron Maiden's like first like 7 albums, like I can listen to over and over on repeat, and even like Book of Souls and stuff. And yeah, I can listen to a lot of their stuff, but that album in particular is my favorite. I love that album. That's why we back actually last year for the 40th anniversary of the album, we did Flight of Icarus cover, because that song was like one of the songs that sorry Rob, that song was a song that got me into metal. So I was listening to that at a very young age. It's a very special song to me. So I figured with the anniversary of the album, and that'd be a great time to cover it.
that album for me is in my top 3 actually. So my second being Dirt by Alice in Chains, and then my top one is the Boston self-titled record. And that one, I said to myself, I actually for some reason I had this weird feeling about going in. I had to get an MRI a while back, and I was like, something tells me, I was like, there's metal in my teeth, from the old amalgam fillings. So, and then there's also like that one time that I was doing something with doing something with metal. I was like I was like sanding something down, and I got worried that there was some stuff that gotten in my eye. So it was like, okay, so if the giant magnets in here, manage to pick up anything and kill me, I figure the last record I'd want to hear would be this one. So I'm like, if I die and More Than a Feeling is playing, I'm okay.
That's a very unique way of looking at it.
No, I figured if it's the last thing I'm ever gonna hear, I think More Than a Feeling would be a good song to listen to.
Definitely. Listen, guys, it's been an absolute blast again. Thanks a million.
Yeah, thank you so much for
Of
having
course,
us.
thank you
again.
so much for having us.
The superficial one, the empty and the shallow. Before you know it, the true colors start to show. Wrong second guessing, now you're forced to let it go. The enemy is always someone that you know. The light's progressing while it sharpens like a knife. Before you know it, it will cut straight through your life. Crop on compliance, so you're fighting at the spine. Accept again a failed attempt to make things right. I've awakened from the depths of the mind, and I'm taking back what's mine. They're like a parasite, trying to live my life. I won't be confined, I want what's mine. It seems okay until you've taken to the roll. Before you know it, it will spiral out of control. Wrapped in a cornice, now it's time to pay the toll. Give up your plans, give up your life, give up your soul. I've awakened from the depths of the mind, and I'm taking back what's mine. They're like a parasite, trying to live my life. I won't be confined, I want what's mine. Infinite decisions, the choices are yours to keep. Carefully close your eyes, but don't fall asleep, don't fall asleep, to reclaim what won't stop. Awaken, take control, to undo what's been done. I will fight till I've won, till I have won, till I have won. To take back, to obtain, awaken, break the chain. I will change what's been done. I will fight till I've won, till I have won, till I have won. Time's now, wake up. I'm awakened from the depths of the mind, and I'm taking back what's mine. They're like a parasite, trying to live my life. I won't be confined, I want what's mine. I'm awakened from the depths of the mind, and I'm taking back what's mine. They're like a parasite, trying to live my life. I won't be confined, I want what's mine. What's mine? What's mine? What's mine?
Hey guys, I really hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please rate and review us on iTunes and Spotify. And if you're interested in signing up to Band Builder Academy, use the link in the show notes below and enter the code CONCERTS and you'll receive 10% off. So, until next time, keep rocking.
Hey, what are you guys still doing here? The show's over. It's over. You can go home. Go on. We'll see you next time. We'll be here.